Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look on D'Angelo Russell's signature shoe by Li-Ning and I guess Way of Wade. He's signed with Way of Wade, and Li-Ning owns Way of Wade. It's kind of like how Nike owns Jordan Brand, but Jordan Brand also signs athletes, right? So that's what Way of Wade is doing. But anyways, this shoe is called the DLO Ice and it's going for $100, which is a very good price. So if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started right off with the tracciones. And as far as the traction pattern goes, it looks like a very it's kind of like a cartoon cloud design, you know? It says ice in my veins here in the forefoot, which is pretty kind of cheesy, but I guess he kind of came up with that. That's his celebration, right? We have the Way of Wade logo here. It says Wade, and also I'm guessing this is his signature on the midfoot chain plate, which is this very bright hot pink color. And then here in the heel we have a D for obviously D'Angelo, and it says 0%. But as far as the stop goes here on my wood floors, it seems very nice. There is a nice loud squeak, and I'm very excited to try out. You know, it has a nice solid stop here on my wood floors. I feel like it's gonna stop very well just on a basketball court, but of course we'll have yet to see on that. And it reminds me a lot of the AC8. You guys remember the AC8 with there's a whole bunch of thick lines, you know? And usually the outsole pattern on most shoes is a very thin line, you know? But the AC8 and also the DLO Ice have very thick lines, of which of course I feel like is going to be very good for durability. But I had no issues with the AC8 traction pattern, you know? It was a very nice bite with this. Didn't pick up a whole lot of dust either. So I have high hopes for the DLO Ice, and like I said, the rubber is super hard and very thick, so you should be fine on an outdoor court. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, it feels pretty smooth, right? So here in the heel we have a very nice curve shape, and just a little heads up here, it says loading here on the midsole, which is nice, cool. So anyways, it feels nice with this curve shape. It is pretty caged though, as you guys can see, the midsole is caged by the outsole, and we have these spikes, right? And then here in the forefoot we have a very nice curve shape, as you guys can see, and we have a lot of forefoot flex, but we do have a midfoot chain plate for torsional support. So overall heel to toe transition right now feels pretty damn smooth. Alright, moving on to the cushioning setup. So we have full length light foam. It says light foam right here in the forefoot. And like I mentioned before, look at how caged it is, right? So light foam, first of all, isn't that nice. I feel like I like cloud foam and also boom cushion from Li-Ning a lot better than light foam. So light foam, in my experience, isn't that soft. It feels comparable to just a regular Phylon, right? And Phylon isn't that nice, first of all. I mean, I guess it depends on how they use it in the shoe. You know, it's from Nike. You know, Nike sometimes is very stiff, but sometimes it's super soft, right? But anyways, here in the DLO Ice, just on the lateral side though, look at all these spikes, right? So the outsole cages the cushion. We have this plastic piece as well. We have this spike here in the heel and all the way here in the back of the heel as well. And I guess it is pretty kind of exposed right here. And then here in the forefoot, it's pretty much fully caged. So yeah, the cushion kind of sucks, you know. A court feel seems pretty good. You know, here in the forefoot, it's very low to the ground. Here in the heel, gets a little bit higher, but court feel overall seems nice. Not a whole lot of compression, pretty much no compression. I feel you know, I was jumping around a little bit and also kind of doing heel strikes, and it felt kind of soft, but to be honest, I'm not very impressed by the cushioning setup right now. Hopefully, you know, it gets softer or it gets bouncier or something when I play in it, but I do have my doubts about that. And as far as the step and comfort goes, so the insole is not that nice either. I mean, it feels like a regular Ortholite insole, which I guess isn't terrible, but also not that nice. And then for the strobo board, there is a little bit of give. So step and comfort isn't terrible, but also it's not the softest or most comfortable. So yeah, I mean, it feels like it's just gonna be a pretty responsive cushioning setup with maybe adequate impact protection. All right, as far as the materials go, so the material, they're using a textile material. It kind of reminds me of jacquard, and I brought the Crazy Light Boost here, as you guys can see. If you guys remember this, it was super nice and it feels very similar to the DLO Ice. You know, it feels a little bit thinner actually here in the DLO, but it's still like a pretty similar overall material, right? So it's quite thin, but also it feels pretty damn supportive. There's really no stretch to it at all, and it conforms to your foot extremely well. You know, there's no pinching or anything. It feels very comfortable, and then it stays pretty much the same exact material throughout this entire upper. Here on the medial side, we have this like synthetic material, which isn't that great for quality, but you know, I mean, it's $100 shoe, right? And then for the tongue, we have a mesh tongue, right? And this tongue is like a half booty construction tongue where it goes all the way underneath. And as you guys can see, it's a very nice mesh material. It stretches over your foot, which does improve the fit. I really like that. But as far as the padding goes, the padding is very minimal. You know, it's a very minimal tongue, so it doesn't feel super cozy, but that's okay. And then here in the ankle area, we have I would say just like an average amount of padding, so it feels kind of cozy. So overall, I'm very impressed with this material. You know, for $100, I mean, I guess the Crazy Light Boost was pretty damn cheap. And if you guys remember the DLO 2 as well with the jacquard, companies just need to bring jacquard back, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, it feels very nice here in the DLO Ice. All right, moving on to the fit. I went up half a size just because Famuji suggested I go up half a size because they said it runs small, or I guess it runs snug. So, and I got it in and it feels pretty damn nice for me so far. I mean, there is a little bit of length though, but it is quite snug here in the toe box, and it is kind of narrow too. So I feel like if I went just true to size, it might be a little too snug, but I like a snug fit, so I feel like I would have been fine going true to size, right? So if you have a very skinny foot and you want a very, very snug fit, probably go true to size. But if you have a normal size foot and you don't want a crazy snug fit, you should go up half a size. And if you have a wide foot, probably go up a full size, or maybe just like stay away from the shoe, right? All right, moving on to support and lockdown. So for lateral containment, you know, here in the forefoot, the foam comes up acting as a sidewall, and we have the outsole coming up as well. Here in the midfoot, we have this plastic piece, which is kind of soft. It's pretty flimsy as well, so I don't know if it adds that much support, but it's not really connected to anything besides the laces. So once you tighten the laces, it kind of like tightens over like this. And I guess it does help a little bit, probably. And then here in the heel, we have the foam coming up a lot and an internal TPU heel counter. And I guess here in the back of the heel, it's more like a, what is this? It's like a synthetic material. It's kind of shiny though, has a nice little sheen to it, I guess. So I feel like lateral containment is going to be very, very good. And for lateral stability, I mean, there's no outrigger or anything, but as you guys can see, the foam does protrude out a little bit, so I feel like lateral stability is going to be good as well. It kind of reminds me of the AC8. I feel like the overall design, like the silhouette of the DLO Ice is very similar to the AC8, and just like how it feels, right? But it might be a little bit lighter. Oh, we'll have to see on that though. All right, as far as the weight goes, we'll check that right now actually. So the AC8, I remember being a little heavy, like 13 point something. Oh my god, no, 14.78 ounces. Yeah, that's freaking heavy. The DLO Ice, I feel like it's gonna be like 13 ounces. A little bit lighter, yeah, 13.02 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 12.87. So average around like 12.9, basically 13 ounces. So it is a lot lighter than the AC8 just because I feel like, you know, it has a lot less like rubber and stuff with this caging. And yeah, I mean, I guess the materials are probably a little bit thinner. Oh no, it definitely is thinner here in the DLO Ice. But anyways, yeah, 13 ounces, not super heavy. I mean, it's a little bit heavier than average weight for my shoes, but it definitely doesn't feel heavy right now. And the traction right now seems really good. So right now it feels like it's gonna be a responsive shoe. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I love it. This colorway is super dope. I love this like light gray upper, and also I guess like darker like wolf gray midsole with this like, I don't know, this teal color, aquamarine color. And we have some hints of orange and pink as well. And then there is a yin and yang kind of like symbol on the tongue too. And then the laces are a different color too. It's like a, what is this? Like a very light or baby blue color. So overall, this colorway is great, and the shoe silhouette looks great as well. I do wonder though, when we saw the leaks of his shoe, there were some shoes with a strap, if I remember correctly. So I wonder if that's like a version 2, like a V2 or something, like they do in the All City line. But anyways, tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, I have high hopes for this shoe. You know, $100, very, very cheap. a great looking shoe, and I feel like it's gonna be a very good guard shoe. I mean, as you guys remember, I love the ACA, even though it was a heavy shoe, right? It feels like a baby ACA, you know, not like a baby, but like a lighter, more like minimal feeling ACA, which of course is a great thing. So I'm very, very excited to play in these, and my first impressions of the DLO Ice are very, very good. But anyways, that about concludes this video. Again, if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.